In this video, we're going to talk about graphing linear inequalities. So let's say we have the linear inequality y is less than or equal to negative 2x plus 1. Alright, so we have to go back to and review how to graph a line. And that's probably from the beginning of the semester, I guess, where we were doing all of our graphing and everything. So let's review that really quickly. You want to start by graphing your y-intercept, because that gives you a solid point to start your line. So since our y-intercept is 1, hopefully everyone remembers how to find your y-intercept, we're going to graph that point over here on our graph. So y-intercept 1. Remember, this is your y-axis, so y-intercepts go on your y-axis. Next, let's review, this is our slope, which is negative 2, which means that when I'm going to graph that on the actual xy axis, I'm going to go start at my y-intercept and go up 2 units to the left 1. Up 2 to the left 1. Remember, slope is rise over run. And then in the other direction, I'm going to go down 2 units to the right 1, down 2 to the right, down 2 to the right. And now you can see I have plenty of points here. I can connect my points. Now before I do that though, with inequalities, you have to determine first, is it less than, greater than? Is it equal to or not equal to? If it's equal to, we get to graph with a solid line, because that indicates that all the values on that line are included in your solution set. If it's not equal to, you have to connect your points with dashed lines. The dashed lines act again as a boundary, but those values are not included in your solution. So in our linear inequality, we have a less than or equal to. So that means I'm going to connect these points as best as I can with a solid line. Ooh, I almost got them all there. Alright, and so remember, we like to indicate that this is a line and continues on forever with our arrows. Now, the next part with graphing a linear inequality is you have to do some shading. And since this says that y is less than or equal to our line, I'm going to shade in all the values where y's are less than what's indicated by the line. So in this case, I'm going to shade kind of below and to the left of our line, because everything in this space over here, they all have y values that are less than what's indicated with our line. Okay, so that's it. That's how you shade and graph a linear inequality. Let's try another one. This time our inequality is y is greater than 3x minus 2. So again, let's get some points. Start with our y-intercept, which is at negative 2. Our slope is positive 3, which means I'm going to count up 3, 1, 2, 3 units, and go to the right 1. Up 2, 3 to the right 1. Up 2, 3 to the right 1. And now I'm going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3 to the left 1, 1, 2, 3 to the left 1. Alright, and again, since this is an inequality, I have to decide, is it less than or equal to, greater than or equal to? So in this case, it's just greater than. So I have to connect my points with a dashed line, because again, even though that's our line, it acts as a boundary, and all the points that are on this line are actually not a part of the solution set. Okay. Now, I have to shade where y is greater than this boundary line. And so since the greater part of my y-axis, what's above the line here, all of these y values are greater than the boundary line. Okay, I'm going to shade above the line. So I'm going to color in all this space over here to indicate that y is greater than that boundary line. I know y'all are amazed and fascinated by my coloring abilities. And that's how you graph a linear inequality. So remember, less than, greater than, dashed lines. Less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, you have a solid line. If it's less than, you shade where y is less. The y values are less than the indicated boundary line. If it's greater than, you shade above. Okay, that's where the y's are greater than the boundary line. Do some practice. You'll have this figured out in no time.